to DagreatGaming, and today I wanted to make a video of Overwatch's top 5 underpowered heroes, or just ones that are in need of some sort of buff. So that's all there is to it, so let's just get started with number 5, which is Tracer. Um, Tracer actually doesn't really need a buff, but I don't see tracers used a lot. I mean, I see them used some of the time, but like not as much as some of the other heroes. So, um, literally the only reason why Tracer's on the list. I mean, like I only had 4 heroes that really needed buffs, so Tracer is there. Um, it really doesn't need a buff at all. Maybe like slight damage increase, but that might be about it. So for this part, I'll probably just leave some footage of me playing Tracer pretty poorly on the screen. Yeah, just leave that there for a minute or so. And at number 4, we have Diva, and Diva I actually think is okay, but they're buffing them anyways in the next update, as far as I'm aware. Um, so if like Diva is fine, you could use a little bit of a buff, and they don't need too big of a buff, but I actually have a lot of suggestions for it. Starting off with it having a smaller headshot area, because Diva has a really big area where you can just critically damage them, because you know like there's a huge area where like the headshot counter is. um, any hero really can take Diva down pretty easy just by aiming at that area. It's not that hard to hit. So um, I also think that she might need a bit more health when she's not in the mech, because without the mech, she has 150 health, which is the lowest a hero can have, and a pistol that's similar to Mercy's. That that's not good. Like you have to run around as a Mercy without the healing stick and less health. But so I think that she should get a bit of a health buff there, or have abilities when she's not in her mech, because again she only has the pistol. So if they could have like some sort of um, other ability that they have when they're not in the mech to like help them survive a little bit more, that would be nice. They could also add a burst fire mode to the pistol to make it that much more different than a Mercy's. Because right now the only difference is the color. Like Mercy's is white and yellow and Diva's is pink. So like if you added a burst fire where like it just fired off 3 rounds really quickly and then paused for a little bit instead of just spraying one bullet at a time like the fire in the game already does. And one more thing, like when she's in her mech, the ability that allows you to fly around for a few seconds, I was hoping like maybe to add another second on to that, because I feel like it ends too quickly. Like, it, it doesn't give you a lot of time in the air. So, like, you can't get very far a lot of the times. And as soon as it ends, you just drop straight down. You don't, like, fall forward or anything. You just. But I guess that kind of makes sense, because how heavy would that mech actually be? I might also leave a little bit of footage of my gameplay of Diva, which is a bit better than Tracer was. Mainly because, like, I actually play Diva more. I think, like, out of all of these people on the list, Diva's the one I've played the most. At number 3, we have Reaper, which, I'll admit for this one, it could just be because I'm really bad with that character. But, um, it, to me, the character just doesn't work. His abilities don't work well. Um, the teleport is really hard to use, because, like, you have to press it, and then you're completely vulnerable, and you look at somewhere, and sometimes it doesn't even teleport you to the place you're looking. And I don't think I have any footage of that happening on the screen, but it happens. Like, you can look at somewhere and it'll teleport you somewhere closer instead. And, like, the range on the teleport isn't very helpful either. But it also is, like, useless during combat, because it just makes you that much more vulnerable, and you can only teleport so far away, and usually the enemy can still hit you, like, pretty good if you try to get away. The Wraith form also has a bit of a vulnerability to it, because yeah, you can use it to be immune and escape, but as soon as it ends, there's like a second and a half where you can't fire, but you can still be attacked, and right when it ends. So, like, if they could remove that, that would kind of help a lot. Um, Also, his shotguns, I should mention, have no range on them whatsoever. If you're not right next to the enemy, if you're even 2 feet away, like, it will not do that much damage. I would like the range to be slightly better, like, maybe decrease the bullet spread so that it does more damage, you know. But, like, it's, like, as soon as there's even slight distance between an enemy and Reaper, it's not gonna hit very well. And that that means that, like, you have to waste all your ammo trying to shoot down even a low health person that's not that far away, and then you get stuck reloading as another person comes for you. So um, his ultimate can get shut down pretty quickly too by ranged people. Not even, like, I don't know how many times my ultimate has failed when I tried to use it, just because as soon as I use it, someone shoots me in the head. But, like, maybe, like, if they could increase your health while you're using your ultimate or something, so it's harder to shut down. I mean, Bastion could probably still do it if you increased the health. You could still shut it down. Or a Widowmaker snipe to the head. But, like, a Tracer that's standing nearby won't be able to easily headshot you and end it right as it starts. You know? There'll be more gameplay of that on the screen for a minute. At number 2, we have Zenyatta, which this one's the only healer on the list, because for the most part the healers are fine, but Zenyatta has really low health and no mobility, so if you get stuck in an open area or something, you can't escape dying there, because you're gonna be a really easy target. Only 150 health like Diva outside her mech, and differences with Zenyatta is that 100 of the health can heal itself, but still not a lot of health, so you can easily be taken out before that happens. And again, no mobility, so if you're stuck in the open, you can't escape. His heals are only actually good if the person is not in combat, and even then, it would take a while to heal a tank. They're okay, but they could use a little bit more. Like, so far I think Mercy does the most heals, like with the staff thing that she has. The other healers don't really heal quite as much. And so the class itself is also too much like an offense hero, as like it has the heal ability, but then most of it is like the Discord orb and just firing at enemies behind the tank. Like that's pretty much what Lucio was designed to do. To passively heal and then he can attack enemies. Okay, but Zenyatta wasn't designed to do that, I'm pretty sure. Like, so it like a lot of the focus for Zenyatta is like similar to Lucio and just an offense hero in general. I mean, like you put the little debuff on them and then start spraying at them, and then like in the background you have a heal on someone, but you're not really focusing too much on that unless someone really needs a heal, and you just put the orb on and continue firing at the enemies. Yeah, a little more health and a little bit more heals, and that should be okay. The number 1 hero that I think is the most underpowered is Winston. Like, for a tank, he does die pretty easily. I mean, like, he has more health than Zarya, but he doesn't have the little barrier thing, little bubble shield thing that Zarya has. The barrier he does have can't move unless it's on a payload, and it can be killed by one person. It doesn't even need the team to spray at it. It'll only take one person to actually shoot down the barrier thing, and it doesn't last for that long either. Like, after 5 seconds the barrier disappears anyways, so that does nothing. And then his damage doesn't really do a lot. Like, if you're trying to attack an enemy, like, I understand that a tank isn't supposed to do too much damage, but like I think he could have his damage scaled up a little bit, because he really doesn't do too much. And his ultimate, his ultimate just gets rid of his gun, and you have to melee attack. It gives you a bit more health and turns you red, but that's it. Like, you just have to melee attack everyone for 10 seconds. And, I think they designed it so that, that ultimate was kind of like a distraction type thing. But, like, it's really useless on its own. Like, if your team happens to die while you're using it, then you're just stuck there using your melee attack, and then when it wears off, they can just kill you because your health lowers again. It it's not really that impressive, but um, that's about it. Like those five heroes, except for probably number five, um, will need some sort of buff in my opinion. I mean, in some other people's opinions, they might not. But let me know what you think in the comments. And if you agree with this, maybe give a like. So, I guess that's it. So, I'll hopefully see you guys in the next video. Bye.